All right, we're on to our fourth video of our 5-part series of shoulder health. What are we on to next, Jordan?
Okay, so we're gonna finish it off with the passive stuff with thoracic extension. So we started kind of from the outside in, stretching those anterior structures, activating the stability muscles of the shoulder, training that retraction and depression. Now, the linchpin to all this is thoracic flexion and extension. All this is undone if our thoracic spine is still flexed. So real simple, we're gonna get you on the floor, sit up position.
Okay.
So we're just gonna bolster underneath that thoracic spine. So if you're not sure where your thoracic spine is, if you have ribs, it's your thoracic spine. So ribs don't go to lumbar, they don't go to cervical. Now from here, we're gonna externally rotate the shoulders. So bring overhead, bring full overhead, there we go. Now we're gonna try and drop back and try and drop the back of the hands straight down to the floor.
Just keeping the chin tucked?
You can let it sort of move in continuation with the thoracic spine. So as the hands drop back, good. Now one thing I want you to avoid, I was doing a good job here, is controlling the rib cage. So the rib cage is going to tell us what the lumbar spine is doing. So a lot of people will, they'll overarch their lower back in a means to sort of appease this visual criteria of getting their hands closer to the floor.
So if you're doing this correctly, you're going to feel your lats being stretched big time.
Whatever your rate limiter is in getting into that thoracic extension. I mean, when we think our thoracic spine is a kyphotic curve, so that convexity is to the posterior aspect where the lumbar spine comes forward. So that waving curve of the back, the more we're in that flex position all day, the more kyphosis, the more curve you're gonna have. We're just trying to reduce that curve with the actual.
Which I have, this is my bad area. So I already know right away, I'll have a tendency, as soon as I start to do this, naturally, I'm gonna wanna do that.
And that extends into movements overhead, right? You're laying down unloaded, but if we put a bar in your hand and you're trying to get overhead, if I'm trying to see this passive unloaded, I wouldn't put a bar in your hands if you can't get into that position safely. Because it's like, if you can't get into a position unloaded, don't load it.
So do you think someone like myself who kind of deals with that excessive arch in their low back, who will have a tendency when they do this to do that, should I think about pushing my abs?
Try and just control the rib cage.
Okay, so just
when
try and
the
keep
rib
it
cage flares up, it doesn't have to be, I mean,
I don't have to excessively push down, just go ahead and let it drop, but then pay attention to that, the rib cage wanting to poke out and keep it still and then drive back, Yeah.
Good.
And then I come out?
Yeah, you can do repetitions, you can do long holds.
Now, do you find any need for me to internally, externally rotate?
I would stay on the external because you're going to lengthen those internal rotators when you're externally rotated, and it's the internal rotators that are going to bind you up the most.
Nice.
It's just that pure overhead neutral shoulder. Out here, you'll be able to sort of cheat a little bit. This keeps your scapulus kind of anchored, and then allows you to just purely flex the thoracic spine.
And then, you could probably see a little bit in my face, right, when I'm struggling at that in range. Now, do you recommend when you get to that in range to kind of intrinsically try and drive further without letting the rib cage?
Try and control shoulder motion independent from cervical spine motion. So try to keep your head in a neutral position and then get here. A lot of people push back sort of simultaneously.
So in other words, as I lift over, I'm trying to go as far as I can without letting anything else compensate.
Yeah, trying to almost bring the head forward. When you're like, Olympic lifters are the benchmark of great shoulder mobility. When you see them, they're here. They can move their shoulders independent to their spine. What happens is a lot of people, when they get to here, now their head moves with the spine. So over the roller, think of that intent of opening up while keeping the cervical spine forward.
Like it. Love it. If you guys like these videos, make sure you like, subscribe, and share. Every single day we drop a new video on this channel. Also, after this video, you guys will see a direct link over to our 30 days of free coaching with Mind Pump. Check it out.